Hello TBB babes, we are live with Mikaila and we are talking TikTok, twerking, celebrities. We're going to freaking dive everywhere. So I'm so excited. Thank you for hanging out with the TBB babes.
Of course, thank you. I'm so excited.
Woohoo! Okay, so let's dive on in. For the people who don't know you, how did you start your career in dancing? Because you've worked with Iggy Azalea, Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber. How did all of that start and how did you come to LA?
So it's actually a really cute story. When I was 2 years old, my grandpa used to babysit me because both my parents worked. And we used to watch Shirley Temple together and we would like tap around together. I remember like specifically the animal crackers in my stomach.
Oh my gosh, I love Shirley Temple, so love that.
Me too. And then the Bojangles tap staircase scene. I remember just like tapping around with him all the time. And then one day he told my mom, he's like, you need to get her into dance. She loves it. Like we tap around the family room together all the time. So my mom got me into dance class and I took my first tap class at the age of 3.
Wow.
And the rest has been history. So I literally owe everything to my grandpa.
That's amazing.
My #1 supporter. He's been there for me through everything and he's encouraged me to do literally everything I do now. Even down to TikTok. He was in like some of my very first viral TikToks.
That's amazing.
Shout out to you,
so cute. Grandpa, you're adorable. I love that. Okay, so then starting from 3, when did you start taking this more seriously? When did the point that hit that you were really like diving in and you moved to LA?
So ever since I was 3, I took it serious. I literally knew, like from the second I put on my little blue Shirley Temple costume, I was like, I want to be a performer more than anything. So starting at the young age of 3, I took as many classes as I was allowed to at that age. And then as I got older, I kept adding classes, and I got into competitive dance, and then I kissed my childhood goodbye.
Literally, competitive dance
training
is like, a lot.
I had to give up a lot of school dances. I got lucky because I at least got to go to prom.
Okay, good, amazing. We had prom, love that.
That was fun. But I had to give up a lot of school dances, a lot of sporting events, a lot of opportunities to like go to the movies with my friends. But I don't regret it because to me, dancing and training was like the most fun thing I could possibly do. So I've always taken it really seriously. And then when it came down to college, I was like, all right, I don't like anything else. I'm majoring in dance. So I went to Madonna University in Livonia, Michigan. It was literally across the street from the house I was living in. So I never got to like move out or do anything cool. So I got bored, you know, after a year of being a dance major, I was like, all right, I need out. This is boring. I don't want to be taking math class to be a dancer. This is kind of ridiculous. And then after the like 1 year, all the classes were just very repetitive and I was doing the same thing. And I was like, all right, I need to get out. So my second year of college, it was just me strategizing how I was going to leave. And I've always been passionate about social media. My friends used to describe my Snap story as the little girl from Finding Nemo, where she's like,
doing all things.
Is this over yet? Like, come on. So I just started posting a lot, and then I started posting on TikTok a little bit, you know, like maybe once every week. And then I had a video go very viral. It was just me dancing in public. And then a couple weeks after, I posted a video dancing with my grandpa, and that went really viral. And I hit my first like 100,000 followers, and I was like, okay, wow,
that's
exciting. And then, you know, time went on, and I hit 1 million. This was like January of 2019, right before COVID. And then COVID hit, like, literally 2 months after. And I was like, okay, you know, we're going to see how the social media thing plays out because I have so much time now because being a dance major, it took them like 5 weeks to figure out how to, you know, learn online. So I took those 5 weeks and I focused just on posting. And I literally grew from like 1 million to 3 million. And then I got my first 2 brand deals and I like called my professor. I was like, I'm leaving.
Wow, okay, that's insane. Okay, so let's dial it back. I want to know a lot about like the schooling and why you decided to leave. Because I think there's a lot of stigma around people who either attend college or don't attend college and like graduating.
So my opinion is just do what you want. I feel like there's a stigma where like if you don't go to college you won't be successful, but I disagree and I feel like I'm living proof of that. I feel like it's not school you need, it's passion and work ethic that you need. If you have your mind set on a goal, there's no one or nothing that can like stop you from achieving those goals. So for me in the entertainment industry, I feel like college was really important my first 2 years because I didn't have anything else to do. Like what was I going to do, sit in my house and, you know, hope? But while I was in school, it kind of encouraged me to do something to get me out of school because I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. And I was a perfectionist. Like my grades were really good, but I was so bored. I was like, I need to get out of here. So it pushed me to like figure something out to get out. And then it also just like gave me, you know, a backup plan. You know, worst comes to worst, I do have a degree to fall back on. And it just kept me like out of, you know, laziness, if that makes sense. Like it just forced me to do it. But as an entertainer, I feel like if you have the resources, you need to just like not go to college. You need to just go take advantage of those resources, because at the end of the day, I told myself, I'm like, okay, let's say I go to LA, I completely flop, it doesn't work out, at least I can say I took the risk, and then I can go back to school.
100%.
School is always there, it's not going nowhere, and you know, TikTok, for an example, this is when I was like going through the whole TikTok might be banned phase.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to do this now because it might not exist tomorrow. So that's kind of what pushed me, you know.
Okay, so going from school then to LA, what was that jump look like?
So it was chaotic.
Okay. I love me some chaos. Okay, so you're in school. How was your parents' reaction? Were they paying for school, or were you paying for school?
I was paying. Okay. I actually had a lot of scholarships, and then I was paying the difference. My mom helped me with my books and stuff, which I'm really appreciative for, but we didn't really have a lot of money. So I was working at Target. I also was a dance teacher. I was a choreographer. I worked at a nursing home for a minute. Like, I was trying to hop around and make as much money as I could while being a full-time student. And while being a full-time student, it wasn't just like 12 credits. I was taking 18 credits.
Oh my god, that is, no one truly understands that type of stress. Literally, I would break out in fucking hives. I hated school.
Oh yeah.
But I do think, depending on your degree, you need an education. Like, there are some people that, like, if you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer, 1,000%.
Oh yeah, you need school.
But now, even like, I mean, we didn't have things like in school. There's now like social media management courses. That was never a thing.
That's my biggest regret. I wish that I wouldn't have necessarily majored in dance, like maybe minored, because, you know, I loved it, but I wish I would have gotten an education more on the business side.
Yeah.
Because that's what would have helped me now. But then again, I'm also learning by doing.
Yeah.
Which is also helpful because, you know, I'm actually like living through it and I have a lot of really good guidance. But
yeah, I think everyone should have a business degree, even if you take it online, even if through like Skillshare or Masterclass, like all of those things. But people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, getting themselves into debt, having to pay for the school, like all of that, I'm kind of like, depending on your degree, you don't really need it.
Yeah.
But I went and I have a, well, I guess I'm not technically graduated. We found out. So this is something that I'll share on the podcast. So we found out I wasn't technically graduated. I didn't complete an accounting class.
Oh no.
And I got an email from my school that was like, hey, you didn't actually complete this account. I never wanted to walk. I was like, I want to be fucking out of here. I want to be done with like college. Apparently, I still have one more class to officially graduate with business entrepreneurship and merchandising management. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going back to school. I learned all I was gonna learn. Like, this is it. So technically, we both haven't graduated, and things are going just fine. But it's crazy. Like, I feel like too, especially in COVID, like you probably left at the perfect time, because all these people paying thousands of dollars to like not only miss the classes, but then you're not in the same room with your peers, you're not like with your teachers. I literally didn't graduate, but all the classes that like I passed, I'm dyslexic. So all of my teachers like would spend extra time with me, like going through questions and all these things. Otherwise, I would have never passed the classes. Yeah. So I can't imagine now, like what people are going through. Literally insane.
It's nuts. And I just feel like the reason school wasn't completely awful is because you had friends to like mess around with. Like, I was always in class clowning around, having fun. And now I'm like, dang. Like, as soon as COVID hit, you know, I had a couple weeks left of that school year, and I cheated my way through it.
Yeah, well, and too, they had nothing. I totally cheated all mine. You'd literally just pull them up screen by screen, and
just boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Majority, I took a lot of online classes as it was anyways, but I was just like, all right, I'm bored. Why am I taking college dance online? Like, they literally had us Zooming, and oh my god, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But I remember, I was like, all right, I don't feel like doing this, and I just wanted to clown around. So we were doing like plies, and I went like this.
Oh my god.
And I just acted like my computer pros the whole class. I was
I love it. Well, you know what? The teacher hopefully isn't listening to it. If you are, then like love that.
Oh, she didn't expect it from me. I just needed something to keep myself occupied. I was like, oh, this is hilarious.
You're like, what's going on? So moving from college, you said it was chaos moving to LA. So what exactly was that process?
So to start, my parents, they were very proud of me and they expected it. My mom literally told me day one of college, she goes, I don't expect you to do more than 2 years. You're gonna do way more stuff than just like this right now. And I was like, yeah, I hope so, because I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
But they were really, really supportive. And I think what made me the happiest is like, my dad has always been super supportive, but his opinion was the opinion I was kind of like
worried about.
The one I was a little scared of, because
the dads.
Yeah, because I was just like, you know, he's always been there and he's gone to so many of my things. He's financially provided for everything, but he's never really voiced his opinion on like this career for real. And he was like, hell yeah, drop out. I was like, oh yes, Dad.
Honestly, here for that. The parents' support, especially the dads, like just hit a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
So when you were gonna move out here, were you moving out here by yourself?
So I was moving with my ex.
Okay.
And my best friend was gonna help me move my stuff. So I called my professor. I was like, hi, I'm leaving. And she lectured me about how I was not going to be successful and that I needed a degree. And I was like, watch this.
Yeah. Sometimes those things push you.
Oh yeah. I was like, don't say that to me. Like, watch this. So I was actually not planning on fully moving to LA. I was just gonna travel back and forth a lot. So my first trip to LA was that September. And the day I was leaving, I was staying with a couple friends that I had met out there, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna regret not moving out here because stuff happens every single day and you don't know until the day of. So the day I left, they did like a huge collab with like OG Viners, and I was like, man!
Like you're like, I should have been here for this. Yeah.
What do you mean this is happening the day I leave? So I went home, I said, I'm leaving. Literally within 2 weeks, I had a U-Haul packed. My whole entire childhood bedroom was in this U-Haul. My ex was like, all right, I'll come with you too. And then we drove all the way across country from Michigan to LA.
Wow.
And then I stayed with the friends that I had first met in LA. Now this is where the chaos happens.
Okay. Was it a shell shock from Michigan to come to LA? Just like the
absolutely.
people, everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michigan is just very slow paced and very humble. And when you walk outside, you just smell nature, and it's just like, I think of Michigan as just comfort. I think of LA as like
go, 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 go. Yeah, it's like ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, for sure. So when I first moved out here, I was staying with a couple of roommates, and like I said, my house was across the street from my college, so I never had to live with anyone before. I'm a neat freak, I like things a certain way, and I was just like, all right, we'll see how this roommate thing goes. I was too scared to like get an apartment because the finances had just started, so I like didn't have money for real, and I was like, okay, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So I moved in with them. Long story short, I have a lot of respect for them because they've taught me a lot, but there was also some shady stuff.
Okay, talk about the shady stuff. We need to hear the shady things.
We love tea. So I'm not going to go into like details or names or anything because I feel like everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt, and I want everyone to have their own like views on people from like their own brain. But these people only had me move out because they had another roommate and he left, and he had like paid 10 grand for like the like 2 or 3 months or whatever that it was for the house, and they needed to pay him back because he moved out. So they're like, all right, well, we're gonna go in debt this like 10 grand. So they had me move across country with all my stuff without telling me they were in the process of being evicted.
Wow, okay, so they were getting evicted from the apartment. How many bedrooms?
It was a house, and it was a 1, 2, 3, 4 bedroom house.
And how did you meet these people?
Social media.
Okay, so
and
you met them.
They actually got me my first brand deals too. So I was like to this day, I 100% love them because I feel like if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had the push to move to LA. So even though there was bad, there was also a lot of good. Like,
okay.
I 100% owe them for getting me out.
Was it like a content house?
Yes, it was. They were trying to make it a content house.
Okay.
So I moved out here.
Hold on, is this the house? Okay, I'm gonna show it to you. I'm not gonna say what it is, but if it is, just nod. Okay.
Secret tea. You guys don't get to know.
Is this?
I hate drama, so I'm very.
Okay, so was this the girl who was like had the house?
No.
Okay.
There weren't really many girls either. It was
okay,
a learning content house.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very different.
They were trying to do like educational, which has never been done before.
That has not been done. This is not the house that I was thinking of.
Yeah, I'm gonna teach people how to shake their butts.
We're giving twerking video tutorials next, so stay tuned.
But I think that's the thing. Like, it was a very well thought out idea. It's just a lot of it was rushed, and I feel like to this day, like they still could have been very successful with it. But being an educational house, people are either gonna love it or hate it. It's gonna do really good or really bad, and I feel like it just tanked because it wasn't done properly.
Yeah. So what were they educating on? Was it dance?
It was well, I was doing dance, there were cooks, there were magicians, there were scientists, lifestyle, literally like every type of niche.
Okay, wow.
Music, art, everything, fashion. So you get the gist. So they didn't want to tell me they were getting evicted because they wanted my money.
Yeah.
Mind you, I still would have moved. I just wouldn't have brought my whole life with me.
Yeah. You're like, because everything's in the U-Haul.
Yes. So I moved out there at the end of October, and then end of September, and then we were kicked out in November.
Stop. You're like, this 30 days was immaculate.
I was like,
how did you know about the eviction? Did you like see the notice?
Well, once I got there, they started talking about it, and they started stressing out, and they started talking because the guy who owns the house is like a multi-billionaire, and the daughter was rebelling against him, and she rented out a house that was getting ready to be sold so that she could make money. So it wasn't their fault. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. But it would have been nice to have been informed so that I would have only brought like a suitcase or two. So then they're like, all right, we're going to buy a house. Because that was when, you know, all the Snapchat stuff started happening and creators actually started monetizing. So they're like, all right, we're getting a house. So then it was, okay, which roommates are moving into the house? Who needs to find their own place? What the heck's going on? They're like, you guys are 100% moving with us. This is me and my ex, okay? So I'm like, all right, lit. But it takes a while to get a house. So what am I going to do? I had to put all my stuff in storage and the car. And then me and my ex flew back to Michigan and stayed in Michigan for like 2 months. And then when we came back, we got an Airbnb, a cricket-infested Airbnb with no air conditioning.
Oh my God. Not the eviction and the crickets. You got to pick one. You can't have both. You can't have crickets and eviction.
I would have taken crickets with AC. At least give me AC. I am the biggest baby if I am hot. My place is 66 degrees.
I love. Okay.
Let me just put that out there.
Okay, so then you go to the cricket house. What happens at the cricket house?
We stay at the cricket house for a while, like at least a month, maybe 2. And then they get a house, and I'm like, hallelujah. But then I'm like, all right, ex, we are not working out together.
What happened? Was there like a moment in time that you were like, we're just like not heading down the same path?
Oh yeah, and like my parents, I like had a FaceTime call with them, and I was just sobbing because I'm really not good at being the heartbreaker, and this was our second time around already, and I was like, I just don't want to like break his heart, and I'm breaking my heart, but we just don't work well together. Like, we brought each other down so bad, and this happened the first time, and it happened again this time. Like, I don't want to go too much into the personal stuff, but like, we sucked for each other. Like, we were both depressed, and like, we would literally lay in bed all day, and like, I was becoming the most unhealthy I've ever been. We were eating a lot of Taco Bell, and I don't know why, we just like were very toxic for each other, and we weren't toxic people either. That's where I don't get it. Like, this man was very loyal, very like, you know, I think insecurities was his biggest issue, and obviously like what I do, you can't be insecure if you're gonna date me.
Did you notice that like as a reoccurring thing throughout your guys'
relationship?
Like his insecurity came through. I feel like personally, and I don't know if this is like your guys' relationship, but I know couples that have moved to cities, and one of them has a job there and the other one is just trying to figure it out.
That's what it was.
That's really like where I feel like the shit comes to the head.
Yeah, and then like I feel like mental health was a big issue with him, because then he started to get very depressed, and like I would come to him and I'd be like, I have this interview for you, like you should go do this. Like, I had so many connections. I was like, anything you want to do, I can. Like, I had an interview for him at Saddle Ranch, and he's like, no, and he just played video games, and it just got very, very bad, and I was like, all right, because then I'm very, like, I think I'm an empath, like, I just pick up on people's vibes, so that's where, like, the toxicity for me came in play, because he's moping around and sad and not taking care of himself, so then I'm like, okay, I'm sad too.
Like, well, and it rubs off on you. If you're around somebody too who has like those energies, the vibes, and you're not pushing each other, there can be people that separately are freaking amazing, but together it's like atomic bomb.
It just doesn't work, because that's the other thing too. My job is so draining, because I'm like, my social battery, I'm just with people all the time. So when I go home, I'm like, not you too.
Yeah, you're like, I can't do this. You need like your home is like your safe haven. So what happened with the breakup? Who instigated, and like how did that whole situation?
I instigated. I walked inside and I was like, we need to break up, and I was just like sobbing. He's like, oh, and it was like horrible, because where's he gonna go? So we were literally like laying on this, like, we were at the Airbnb, so we only had a mattress.
Oh my gosh.
Infested with crickets. It was literally the worst time of my life. Like, when I tell you, it was so horrible. It was so horrible. So we're literally like laying next to each other, just like, I'm this way, he's this way, and we're just like
literally crying. So
like,
did he leave?
Yeah, so that went on for like 4 days straight, and then we got to move into the house. So he's just kind of like, we're waddling around, really sad, moving boxes, not really talking to each other. And then like 2 days after, he went back home.
Okay, got you.
And then that was kind of the end of that. So now I'm living in this house, and the roommates, we didn't click.
Did not click. The magician and all the things.
So it was only, all the other roommates left. So it was just me and these people.
Gotcha.
That's all I need to say. So this is where it gets kind of like, shit.
Was it like personalities didn't match, or like work ethic? Like what was about the roommates?
It was personality, and I feel like they looked at me like their Cinderella daughter. Like, I was given a chores list. Mind you, I have OCD diagnosed. I am the biggest neat freak. Like, I can't sleep if there's a sock on the floor.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, I need my stuff aligned, so I'm not a messy person to live with by any means. They gave me a chores list. I had to get on my hands and knees and wipe the stairs down like Cinderella. They had me cleaning their toilets. I was like, all right, this is weird, but if this is the one thing, I'll just live with it, whatever.
Did they have chores lists?
They did, but no, the one dude didn't do any chores, so they all got put on me.
Wow, okay, so he should have been kicked out.
It was a couple. That's what it was.
Okay,
it was a couple.
Okay, it was a couple.
So that was that situation, and it was his house, so there's no getting kicked out. Like, it's his house, his rules. And I feel like that's what the problem was, is it was their house, their rules, even though I'm paying rent and I live there. So I'm like, you guys either need to just like have no roommates and be able to be like, oh, this is all mine, or you need to just be like, all right, this is my house, but I have roommates and they're paying, and they literally pay their rent, so it's also their place because they own the space that they are, paying for right now. So that was that. They gave me a chores list. It turned into I'm not allowed to cook in her kitchen because she likes her things a certain way. And then the times that I would cook, it would just be like eggs or something really quick. And like while I'm literally cooking, she'd come downstairs and freak out and be like, you need to wash your dishes. And I'm like, I'm cooking right now. And I would have to literally wash my dishes before I was allowed to eat. So like my food would like be getting cold. So then it slowly drifted into I'm not really allowed to cook at all. And then they had this pool, and literally every day at 7 a.m. they were like doing renovations on the house, and then finally the pool was made. And that's the one thing about me, I love to swim. I love being in water. It's my favorite thing. So I'm excited, 2 months of this drilling at 7 a.m. Now there's a beautiful pool I get to swim in. And then it turned into, you're not allowed to swim today. Oh, you're also not allowed to swim today. Oh, it's the next day. You're not allowed to swim today. We have friends over. And I'm like,
well, what are you doing? What are you doing in the pool? Was there you weren't doing anything like crazy in the pool?
No, I literally laid on my little floaty.
Oh my gosh. So, like, what? Do they have like guards? That's so weird.
I was like, what do you mean? And then they would have like parties, and I wasn't invited to my own house parties. Like, and by parties I mean just like little gatherings with like little the cheese board.
Oh, like charcuterie boards, like little hangout moments. Okay,
little hangout moments, and I was like not invited to a lot of them. And then I wasn't allowed to listen to music after 6 p.m. and they would have like their parents sleep over a lot for renovations and stuff, and they wanted to go to bed at like 5 p.m.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I wasn't allowed to make noise because my bedroom was right next to the guest room, and I'm like, here's an idea. Maybe don't let them stay the night if I have to be quiet at 5 p.m. Like,
yeah.
What?
I would be like, you can take money off my rent. Okay, I would literally have charged, this is what I would have done in your situation. Literally would have taken off when I was going to give them rent. Deduction cleaning fee. Deduction noise canceling before standard practice in Los Angeles is 10 p.m. Okay, deduction. You have to park on the street, deduction. By the end, you're paying a quarter of your rent and being like,
I'm just not confrontational. Like, I will just ghost instead. So I was like, all right, I'm moving out. But there's still some more stuff. So, like, I had to ask for permission for people to come over. And, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like you owe the people you live with respect to just be like, hey, so-and-so's coming over. But I shouldn't be like, can my friend come over?
Like, I'm not with your parents.
I moved out of my parents' house. So I literally had to offer them. I was like, I'll literally give you, like, $100 if my friend can stay for her utilities. And they were like, okay. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I literally offering, like, these are my utilities. Yeah. And I'm barely here, and I'm one singular person. Literally, it was equally split to the utilities. So, like, I was paying the same amount as them for their pool usage, the whole entire house. I was only in my bedroom.
That's crazy.
I'm like, I don't owe you to let a friend stay with me. And then I knew it was done when I was listening to music, because at this time I was trying to get into, like, making my own music. So I was just singing in my room, writing, and they were like, you need to be quiet. And it was literally 6:30 p.m. They're like, my dad's sleeping next to you. And I was like, not for long. I'm not leaving.
And so you bounced. And then when was this? Like what year?
This was last year, June, literally the last week of June.
Okay.
So I called my mom. I was like, I think it's time for me to get my own apartment. And like at this time, I'd been single for like 3-4 months, and I was just all on my own. But I was like, you know what? I'm ready.
You're ready.
My mom, she actually flew out to LA, helped me move everything. They didn't say a word to me. They literally have hated me ever since I left. And like, I still respect them. Like, they taught me so much stuff. Like, they taught me a lot about like real estate and investing. And I feel like they're the reason I'm very smart with my money, because my family's not the best to go to about money, but them, like, they taught me so much. So I still like have so much respect for them, and I'm thankful that I met them. I'm thankful for the experience, but they hate me for leaving. They won't talk to me. They won't say a word. It's whatever. Like, I've even seen them at events, and they're just like,
just look
like,
the other way.
Okay.
I feel like my like secret tactic, if there's somebody in an event that you don't really want to talk to and you know it's gonna be fucking awkward, your friends know the situation, first thing that I do is I walk in the party and I go up to them and I give them a hug. And I'm like, hi, how are you? Honestly, because at the end of the day, you know that that's gonna be an awkward situation. What are they gonna say? You're gonna walk up to them and be like, hi, I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you guys. You know, I'm gonna head off and go grab a drink or go talk to the brand manager or whatever.
See, that's mature. That's
like,
maturity.
And you have, honestly, it's gonna be like, what are they gonna say? Wow, she's such a bitch for coming up and saying hi to me. Then you just straight up for the rest of the event, don't have to worry about it. Try it next time. Like, if they're in an event, I'd walk up and be like, hope the house is doing good. Like, you, hope you guys are doing well. All right, see you soon. Walk off.
I like the way you think.
And two, it just gives people like, I don't know, suck a dick. Like, like I could care less.
That's the thing too. Like, I just hate confrontation and I hate drama and I hate being on bad terms with people. And that's one of those things where like I just need to like, it's life. Like, not everyone's gonna like you, but I'm just like, dang, like I really don't hate you guys.
Well, and
it just wasn't a good living situation.
And too, it's okay to like, it's even like relationships. Like, you don't have to hate all of your exes. And I think it's weird if you do hate all of your exes.
I agree. Me and my ex, the one that this whole story is about, we actually just communicated and we're good. Like, we don't hate each other. We can be civil. Like, if I walked in the same room as him, we'd probably be like, hi, and it's just not awkward no more.
Yeah, and two, you just kind of like, you don't need to walk around. I feel like that negative energy puts out in your work, your current relationship, who you're dating, like all of those things, you can just like not have the drama.
I feel like it's definitely good for healing, and I feel like a lot of people just don't really know how to heal. This past year has just been a healing year for me. Now, there are like some relationships, like, they're ghosted for life because of really bad things they did, but I feel like that's different. I feel like if you just like don't mesh well with someone, people don't know how to like let go and forgive. Like, my ex and I, we're not good for each other, but he's gonna be great for someone else one day.
Exactly.
And like, he's a good person. So.
Well, and I think all of the exes, whether even it's like ex's best friends or like people you lived with, like they're all training. They're all for the plot. It's all for the training on like who you're going to eventually be end up with. Maybe it's like business or relationship or friendships. They all taught you something.
That's true. That's a good way to look at that.
So from your healing journey, what happened in that and for the last year?
So I have only had like one situation in the past year, and I ended that a little bit ago because
I think I saw a TikTok on this. There was a situationship.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's a situationship, and then I had like a little fling.
Okay.
And the fling was like, it was the only like person I talked to since like being in LA for like the past 2 years. But then the reason I was doing that, like, I did not like this guy at all, and he treated me like garbage. Like, this guy's actually just not a good guy. But
okay, why did we put up with this?
I wasn't comfortable with being alone, and I had healing to do. So
gotcha.
while like living out here, I got a therapist. I love therapy. Everyone should do.
I would agree. Everyone needs like splash of therapy in their life.
Yes.
Whether it's like for just a few months, years, like whatever you need.
I feel like I'm never gonna stop going, especially with this lifestyle. Like, there's so many people that have platforms and they're entertainers and they make everyone happy, but they don't make themselves happy. So like, for me, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life right now, genuinely. Like, I really have worked so hard on myself, and I can sit here and like, I'm just happy. But I feel like if I didn't have a therapist, like, I feel like that could easily go away, just because, you know, it's good to have someone give me guidance, and it's nice to have someone to talk to, because I'm always the one doing the talking for other people. So I just feel like therapy's good. But I went to therapy. I started eating healthier because that's my toxic trait. I have no self-control. I like to eat.
I'm an eater too, girl. I'll show you my food
And there's
list.
nothing wrong with that, but it's just I don't eat nutritionally and I snack a lot. Like I snack more than I even eat real meals, which is the problem. So I got into cooking a little bit. I started doing like meal prepping with HelloFresh, and I love that because it's been teaching me how to cook. I started journaling a lot. I read. I got this house and I put like a little egg chair up there, so I just swing in it and look at the stars. I take bubble baths all the time.
Oh, wow. I love it.
So I just make time for me, and if I get really tired, like I'm really bad at not working. Like I haven't had a day off in like 2.5 years. But with that being said, I'm starting to balance. You know, I can work every day because if I don't, I'm like not. I feel like I'm not being productive. But I'm learning that like I can work, but I can also take a couple hours a day to like, you know, do what I want to do.
Yeah, and I think too, like I've thought about like everyone's work-life balance is so incredibly different, and like your idea of like, hey, you would need to work every day and that makes you feel like a whole happy human. For somebody else, maybe that's their 4-day work week.
Yeah.
And like that's it, and then they need their time. Like everyone's so different, and I feel like that idea of balance that everybody like talks about is gonna look very different to each individual
I feel like
person.
for me too, I just have no choice. Like if I go a day without answering emails, I just miss out on like 30 opportunities.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like now I'm almost like a little paranoid on my collaboration inbox to where I was like, fuck, this is like getting unhealthy. But for example, I just had like, it was like 2 months ago, a brand reached out and they're like, hey, we want to fly you and your boyfriend out for, to stay at like the MGM Grand in Vegas. We're going to like literally 10 grand. We're getting you tables. We're doing this, all this stuff. I didn't answer for 4 hours and they were like, hey, we had to book this.
No.
And so I was like, fuck. Like you
have to be on it.
You have to be on it, especially like the emails or even like a DM. Like there could be something, like I always think of this too, it's from the Ed Milet podcast. Like you're one email or person or situation or conversation away from your dream life.
That's
and so
true.
Literally there's times where I'm like, oh, but it is. You have to like be in the inbox like nobody's business.
Even like on my birthday, we went to Hawaii and I was just, you know, taking phone calls and doing podcasts, and I'm literally like on this road to Hana and there's no Wi-Fi, and I'm like, I am screwed. Like this is like a full day where I can't, you know. So then as soon as I got back that night, I was just like, I missed everything. Hi, like what's good?
Yeah. Do you have a team that you work with? Okay, so who's on your team? Because I think from the outside, a lot of people, I personally like to dive into teams because everyone's like, oh, I do this all on my own, and you're like, no, you don't. You have a graphic designer, you have a video editor, you have an intern, you have XYZ. So behind you, who are the people?
So when I was all on my own, I had my family, and I still have my family, and I wouldn't be anywhere without my family. I've been very blessed and lucky to have the support system I do, and now even having a team, I still have like my grandmother and my mom calling me, and they're like, are they doing this and this and this, and is it done this way? And I'm like, yep. I love you guys. You keep me on track. You keep me humble. So I have my family for sure. But then I started working with Next Up Talent. They're my talent managers, and there's a lot of them. I work with Jeff and Tanima. Tanima's the CEO. She's a young girl boss. I love it.
Love it. Amazing.
She's 23 years old and started this whole management company. So she's my manager. Jeff is like my other manager. And then there's a bunch of like co-managers and assistants that are part of Next Step. And then they also have interns, which is helpful because the interns do like my posting on Facebook and YouTube. And that's a new addition that just happened like a month ago, and that's been making my life a lot easier.
That's amazing.
I have an OnlyFans manager. Her name is Justine, and she has made my life so much easier too because I used to just sit on OnlyFans all day and like try to answer everything, but now I have Justine, so like she keeps me very organized. And even though like I'm still the one that interacts with everyone and I still do the talking and I still make the content, like she'll send me lists and be like, hey, make sure you do this, make sure this person gets a response today, make sure that, you know, this is all the stuff you need to do for the week with like. So
she calendars you out. So what is like, speaking of OnlyFans, okay, what's the content on there? Is it like, are we talking Pornhub status? Are we okay, what's on the OnlyFans? Because I think everyone is always like, when people are like, check out my OF, we're like, what the fuck's on there? Okay.
Well, you can subscribe and see for yourself. But no, I feel like OnlyFans has a horrible stigma, which is understandable because of what people post on there. But OnlyFans was made to just be an exclusive site for content creators. It wasn't meant to have a pornographic stigma. And I will say I do love that it's a safe place for sex workers to use it because, you know, Pornhub and like stuff like that, a lot of like horrible things have come out about like the exploitation and like all of, like the poor working conditions and all that stuff. So it's nice that OnlyFans is a good platform for them to like use it, and they have consent over what they post, and like the money goes directly to them. So shout out to OnlyFans for that. But it's also like just used for people that post exclusive content and monetize their platform.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. Of course, I post like sexier things. Like that's where all my like lingerie goes, and like it's where I can like feel classy, beautiful, and sexy without being banned.
Yeah.
Because all these other platforms like TikTok and stuff, they're taking everyone down, and it's all women. And I feel like it's kind of a war on women going on right now. So OnlyFans is my safe place where I'm like, wow, I feel great, I feel really sexy, I can post this picture on OnlyFans and not get banned, and I get to monetize it. So I do that. I do some like G-string content, shaking ass, but I wear G-strings to the beach, so
it's not really any different. So when did you start OnlyFans, and how, like, for strategy on OnlyFans, what does that look like?
I started OnlyFans a year ago, and it was the best decision of my life.
Okay, can you say how much you've made from OnlyFans?
I have made almost $2 million
from OnlyFans. Okay, and okay, so then how do you strategize your platform? Do they pay per video? Do they pay monthly?
So I have a subscription-based account, and that's monthly, and I post on there like almost every single day. And it is good content. Like, it's not stuff you can see everywhere else, you know? Like, it is sexier, and it is hotter, and it's just exclusive content you wouldn't see anywhere else. And then I also send messages every single day, and I charge for those depending on like what I'm sending out. And then I also just started a free page, and my free page I just post free stuff on there, and then there's also like things you can unlock on there. So that's a new strategy.
So what are the messages? Are these guys who pay for guys? Is it mostly men or is it
it's
female?
mostly men, but there are females on there, and I also will send like twerk tutorials and stuff on there, and like
so you're teaching dance tactics, but also, okay, what are some of the messages? Are they like wanting dirty talk?
Oh my gosh.
Are they wanting like, I'm just wondering, is it like where you like call and they like want to like, you know, is it like?
So I will say the majority of the dick pics that I get unsolicited in my Instagram DMs have shifted to OnlyFans. So the good news is now I'm monetizing unsolicited dick
Now
pics.
you're monetizing dick pics. Okay, all power to it.
So at least it's taking away from that, which is nice, because now, you know, my Instagram's a little cleaner to look through.
But it's not like, hey, how you're doing, shaft.
Yeah, some of them, like, I've actually built really good relationships with some of the guys. Like, some of them really just, like, want a friend. Some of them just, like, are fans of me and they just want to, like, talk to me. So it's really cool because I do get to, like, interact with my fans. But then, you know, just, like, anywhere, you get some funny ones.
Okay, so then do you like, talk on the phone with them, or is it messages?
No, it's all messages. You can, but, like, I don't really do anything, you know, because I just don't want to be put in an uncomfortable position. Like, there was one time I was actually live on TikTok doing the Omegle thing, and some guy pulled out his dick. So I'm like, I just don't want to deal with
like
that
the
stuff
whole
at all.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're messaging them, what is, like, is there packages for messages, like how many you get a month, or is it just like?
It's just however many I feel like doing, and then, you know.
Okay, do they have to pay for the messages though?
So, like, I can send a picture in the messages and charge, like, hey, this is $3 to unlock. But on my subscription page, it's free to message.
Okay, gotcha.
So they can message me, but on my free page, you have to pay to message.
Okay, got you.
So that's different strategies.
Okay.
The free page is just me trying to, like, you know, people actually have to pay, but it's guaranteed a response. Whereas the subscription page, like, I don't have to respond if I don't want to. And some of the, like, requests, you want to know one of the craziest ones I just got?
I want to hear all the requests. Give me every request.
This man said to me, he said, and I quote, give yourself a wedgie and look in the camera and tell me how much you love giving yourself wedgies. I'm like, no. Like,
okay, so you can ask for specific things.
Yes,
they could be
customs.
like, I want your feet smashing cake and saying my name, Carl.
Yes.
Okay.
And I get stuff that specific.
Okay.
And there's some things where I'm just like, absolutely not. I don't do this. I'm not doing this.
What's your nose? What are your hard nose?
My hard nose is nudity and fucking. I'm not. That's personal. I am actually.
I like need that to be a TikTok sound because my hard nose are nudity and fucking.
Fun fact about me, I might shake my ass on the internet, but I'm actually extremely shy. Like, I love being sexy and I love showing my figure, but I am very, very shy and I don't want people seeing me naked.
Okay, so okay, so like full blown naked. You're good with lingerie, you're good with G-string, but not like full blown.
No,
like
coochie, no, yes.
Okay, got you. There's no areola action, there's no cat action.
No.
So that's where we draw the line. So when the guys ask, like, what if it's like, do you have like ones that you teeter on? Like, what if they're like, hey, I want you in like a white t-shirt that's wet with like nothing underneath?
I'm very set on my boundaries.
Okay.
And I feel like that's the one thing that's scary about OnlyFans. Because there's a lot of women that get into it, and I'm in full support of doing whatever the hell you want. If you want to be a sex worker, I'll be your #1 fan. But what I'm not in support of is people that do stuff just for money, and they don't really take into consideration, like, oh, like, I'm majoring in like stuff that has to do with children. Maybe I shouldn't be, doing stuff like this.
I went to a little story time. So I went to this white party. This was like a few weeks ago, and I was there with a girl that I will not name, but she does OnlyFans, and her stuff is very risque, and she was talking about how there was a teacher there who's very well known on OnlyFans now. She like used to be like around children. I want to say it was like preschool. That might fact check me on that. But anyway, they found out about OnlyFans and she lost her job. I'm like, obviously, scary. I think that a lot of people just don't think about the consequences moving forward and what that's actually going to look like.
Very, very true. It took me over a year to decide to do my OnlyFans. Like, I was going back and forth the whole time until one day I was like, I will never work a desk job. My job is entertainment. And even though I don't post naughty stuff, like, it still wouldn't affect me. Like, if I tell someone I have OnlyFans, like, it doesn't matter because I'm never going to work, a desk job. So, with that being said, I just feel like people set boundaries, but they don't stay true to their boundaries if money's involved, and that's scary.
Well, I think the one thing is, like, with money and alcohol, like, with more alcohol, you see somebody's really true colors, and the more money that people make, they become, like, more their true selves. Like, I genuinely believe that no matter what stage of life you're in. And so, for, like, what kind of boundaries do you say no nudity? And then you're saying also, too, like, no actual, like, sexual content on there.
Because for me, like, I do what I do because I love it. I love being a sexy woman. I love being confident. I started finding my true self when I was 18 and took my first skills class. That's just who I am. Some women feel a lot sexier when they're completely covered up. I feel comfortable in between. I love dancing. I'm a professional dancer. So for me, like, OnlyFans is literally my favorite platform because I'm like, wow, I can, like, truly express myself and I can freely do what I love without, being banned or, like, facing any repercussions or anything like that. But I set my boundaries and I'm like, this is that. Like, I'm not going to let money tell me, because it's easy. Like, it could be like, oh, show me your titties and I'll give you like 30 grand. Like, I've had extreme offers like that and I'm just like, no. Yeah. Like, 30 grand comes and goes. Like, I can find a different way to make that. But what isn't going to leave is the pictures of my titty you just got.
And too, like, what people are not realizing is, like, there's Reddit threads dedicated to literally people are like, oh, well, the OnlyFans content is it's only on OnlyFans and they can, like, sue if it's taken off.
That's not
like,
true.
If you're like that you believe that is true,
you can't sue everyone.
You can't sue everyone unless you literally have like 800 lawyers working all full time.
And then by that point, it's gonna cost you all the money you just made on OnlyFans anyways to have those lawyers. So what's the point?
Well, and too, once the picture has been seen, it's already been seen. It's been dropped in the thread, and everyone's seen it. They
also have like Discords and I don't know what Telegram is, but those are all used.
Yeah, it's kind of like Discord, and same with like WhatsApp. Same like platforms that aren't like necessarily very regulated.
And that's the thing, like, I do have a team that goes in and gets all my Reddit stuff taken down because for me, I don't post anything that I wouldn't feel comfortable with the world seeing. So everything I post, I'm like, I post it with the intention that like everyone will see it. So for me, it's not really being exposed that the issue is, it's the fact that these men are coming in, taking my content, selling megas, and they're selling all of it for like $5. And
okay,
it's like, all right, that's not cool. This is my bag, not yours.
Interesting. Okay, so I didn't know that. So people come in, what's a mega?
It's like all my content. It's just like a mass amount of like my content.
Okay,
Just
so
try to sell it, and I'm like, hey, sir, don't do that. You're getting blocked.
Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that people could take all of it and then they sell it. What they go and like find fans that like you.
Well, they just go on Reddit and they're like, Mikaila Murphy, mega, $5, $10 for all of this.
Wow.
So I just go in and I'm like, report, and then it gets taken down.
Oh, wow. Okay, did not realize that was a thing. What else do you have to regulate like from around the OnlyFans content?
That's pretty much it. Because like I said, I don't really care.
Yeah.
What gets leaked, it's not really leaking because.
So what's what now? So you've made 2 million, and this has been in 2 years.
I started it last May, so like a year and some change.
Okay, a year and some change. What's your plan now moving forward?
I bought a house.
Okay, so you bought the house with the OnlyFans money. Love it. Okay, so from like, what do you see that platform turning into for you?
I see it staying the exact same it is right now. Like, I just use it to interact with a fan base that I normally wouldn't be able to, and I get to post what I want to post on there freely. So I feel like I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and ride the wave till the wave crashes.
Okay. So with this, are you able to like get brand deals or anything surrounded by OnlyFans?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked.
I want to know like a little bit about that because your content it's ass shaken. Like we're definitely like more risque. What type of like collaborations do you get to utilize through OnlyFans?
So we haven't done any brand deals yet because me and my team actually just started talking about it.
Okay.
So it's one of those things, my manager Jeff, we had an aha light bulb moment. We were like, wait, why don't we just like do brand deals on OnlyFans? Because I had like a sex toy company reach out to me and they do like lingerie and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to like promote this on my TikTok, and you know, I just don't feel comfortable with that being like on my main platforms. But I was like, wait a minute, like I could actually do this on OnlyFans. And for me, like sex toys and stuff like that, women empowerment.
Yeah, so
we don't need no man.
So with the sex toys too, how many followers do you have to have on OnlyFans, or is it subscribers to then monetize?
I honestly don't know, but my free page I just started a month ago and I already have 50,000 subs on there, so it's definitely enough to do like brand deals.
So you would do it on the free platform and not this?
I would probably do both, but the thing is with OnlyFans is those are like my loyal supporters. You know, like once in a while I'll have a dude that subscribes to, you know, see some yams, but he'll leave the next month when there are none.
Yeah.
But the rest, like, it's all very consistent people, and like I know a lot of them because they keep resubscribing. So it's people that would probably like, you know, invest in stuff that I do on there. So
okay, so with OnlyFans, I feel like people say this, and I want to know if I'm going to assume that you're going to say no. Do you think OnlyFans leads you to doing porn? Or
no.
Okay, so people have said like it's kind of like you hit one and then you hit the other.
You're like not true.
Absolutely not.
No way.
Okay, so then from you monetizing your free platform and your paid platform, so that's going to be more risque. What are you going to do with your TikTok moving forward? That's just going to be dancing?
I just shake ass on there.
Okay, so just shake ass on there.
Aside from that, like, I just make whatever content I feel like doing, honestly. TikTok for me isn't really, like, strategic. I just do whatever the heck I'm feeling in the moment, and I feel like that's what's worked for me because I'm very, like, authentic to myself. So if I have the zoomies, I'm going to post crazy videos that night. If I'm just chilling, I'll just be like, all right. But it is mostly dance videos. I do some public interviews here and there. I do funny skits. I do a lot of stuff for like body positivity and like women empowerment. You know, that's pretty much what the ass shaking is. It's just me saying like, fuck the haters, do what you want, girl, shake ass. Like,
yeah, and you just get it. So from like now, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself being a girl boss.
Okay, love.
Owning a couple properties.
Okay.
I want to get into real estate. Like I said, I just bought my first house and I'm going to live in it, but within the next year I'm hoping to have that completely like paid off and on to the next. So I want to do that. I see myself starting a clothing brand if it hasn't already launched. I want to...
What type of clothes?
So I want to sit down with a designer, and I want it to not be drop shipped. I want it to be 100%. You can only get it from Mikaila's store.
Okay.
So I want to get into lingerie. I want to do loungewear, and I want to do like twerk shorts and stuff. And then I'm known for wearing my hoops and lip gloss and lashes.
Okay.
I'm not really a makeup girl, but I thought it'd be cute to make like a little Mikaila package where like it comes with my own formula of lip gloss, lashes, and hoops.
That'd be very cute. I think you should make like some type of... The way that I would do it is like brand it as like your twerking kit and be like your everyday essentials for twerking. So then you could collaborate with, let's say, if you're not making your own lip gloss, then collaborate with another company and do something for like a subscription box of like your twerking box every month. So So then you can add that
so genius.
as an add-on to your OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh.
So that way,
Genius.
I would, well, I own a marketing agency, so I'm always thinking of like strategic like
that's
ways.
Genius.
But I think that could be like huge for you. And if you're wanting to lean into like the more girl audience, I think you actually talking about like you having like your confidence and building your confidence, as well as like feeling sexy in your own body, you could start on your free page if you're wanting to tailor that more towards women. Start doing like Monday morning coffee chats or something about like empowering and like where you came from in your relationship and now where you're gravitating towards, like what you really went through, what you learned, and then saying how like to empower yourself through lingerie. Start working with lingerie brands and then tailoring it up to like end up dropping your own lingerie brand in the next like year or two.
That's genius. I've been trying to figure out a way to like incorporate everything, but I think that was the little transition period I needed to hear.
Yeah, and too, I think that's like what, if you notice, there's a lot of brands that do that. Like they'll start like teasing that they're like, okay, they're obsessed with like lymphatic drainage, or they're obsessed with like sneakers, and they start teeing it up, and you'll see like the repetition when you start to like really clue in, like repeatedly talk about a phrase that you're going to use as a tagline for your brand. So maybe that's like sexy is for everybody, or like I'm beautiful when, and like you keep that repetition.
Oh my gosh.
And then tee it up to that be your tagline, or for that to be something to where you can then use for that line.
That's genius.
Sorry, little like drop in there, but
I can already envision it too. One of my friends, she told me like Vixen is like the perfect name for me because it's like a sexy, you know, feminine person. So I was like, I want to do something like that.
Also a porn company too, though. So just so you know that it is porn videos. Just so you know,
I want a fancy Italian word that means like you know, just like confidence, and I want to tie it all in. So
yeah. I know, I love it. I think that's amazing.
Not the porn company.
Not the porn company.
Porn just won't leave me.
I only know that because there was a girl at my college and she ended up becoming a porn star because she masturbated in our school library. It went viral, and I mean not like a little viral, I mean it went all over the entire world.
Wow.
Under Sutherland, I'm sure you guys have heard of her. Anyway, but that's the only reason why I know about that, because somebody was
crazy.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, she actually got hauled out by the cops, and I was like in the library because it's like with children and school, and like when you like go to school, I don't know exactly like. She broke certain laws, to where she was hauled off school, which is like fucking insane.
Oh my gosh.
But I want to dive into too, because I don't think like people know that you dance, but I don't think they really know that you like professionally dance. You worked with like Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber, Iggy Azalea. Like talk about that. I want to hear about like working with celebrities and like the ins and outs and what we would find really fucking surprising.
So I feel like I actually don't have too much like juicy tea on this subject because I just like mind my business. Like anytime I was hired for a job, like I would just go there, dance, and be done. When I was 16, I think, or I might need a fact check, but I think when I was 16, I won this big audition and I got to backup dance for Jordan Sparks in Vegas, which was really cool. I've done like Thanksgiving halftime shows like with the Detroit Lions and stuff. So I got to like backup dance for Kid Rock and Andy Grammer. That was pretty dope. I did like the Big Sean music video, and that's where the tea comes into place.
Okay.
And it really makes me mad because dancers, and I think really anyone in the entertainment industry, we just get taken advantage of, and that's why I'm so happy that I have the platform I do. And I promised myself, I was like, you'll never be just a dancer because then people will stomp all over you. So now I have the leverage, and I don't have to do anything unless I want to, because like I don't really need the money for dance jobs anymore. I don't need to do anything for anyone else. Like it's all my choice. But like they do not pay. Like one of the music videos that I did, I got $0 for it. My face was in Times Square. That's cool bragging rights. But after that moment, what did it do for me? Literally nothing.
So was that the Big Sean video?
I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so what was something that people would find surprising being on set with these people?
Well, the issue isn't even the artists, it's like the mean managers. And I told my managers, I'm like, if you guys are ever mean to my fans, you're not my managers anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes the artists in particular have no issues meeting their fans. They're like excited to meet us and they want to take pictures, and then the managers are like, oh yeah. And I'm just like, yo, what? Like I've actually been hired to work with some really big artists for social media just to like take videos. And like this one was actually very recent. This was about 2-3 weeks ago. We got hired, literally like paid to go make a video with this man. And once we got there, they're like, no cameras allowed, no phones allowed. And I'm like you're not that cool. Like, you hired me to come make content to promote your artist because you need me.
Okay, wait, I'm confused. So they hired you to come and make make videos for this other guy's platform.
Yes.
Okay,
it was for his new song, and it was me and like 4 of my other influencer friends.
Okay, so you guys all got hired. So they said that they wanted the content to be on his pages, not yours.
Well, they wanted it to be on our page, but like, how are you supposed to make content if you're not allowed to like make the content? Because it was a meet and greet, and I'm like, listen, bro, like, I feel like everyone's the same, and I feel like the only person I would genuinely be really excited to meet is Meg Thee Stallion because she got me shaking my ass. But aside from that, like, everyone, especially since being in LA, you really learn like everyone is just like they're all normal people that just want to be treated normally, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not here for your meet and greet, I'm here for work.
Yeah.
Don't treat me differently, like I'll just walk out, you know? But they were like, yeah, you're not allowed to make content, you'll get your picture in a couple days. And I was just like, what do you mean I'll get my picture in a couple days?
Is it because this person's huge and they want like approvals on everything that's posted?
I don't know, because that's the thing, like that is actually a very common occurrence. Anyone that sends me, you know, something like they want me to do music promo, you always have to send for approval to make sure it's the way they want it, even if it's just me by myself. So like I could have made a lot of videos and then sent for approval, and they could have said, oh no, sorry, like we don't like that. I would have been like, okay, we'll use this one instead. I think it was just the fact that they were on like a power haul and they're like,
well, and you give somebody an inch, you're gonna take a mile. Like really, they're gonna go like full speed ahead and just do it because they can.
Exactly.
And too, if they're like hiring you too, or if you're like worse, like if you're there and you're like, okay, I'm not actually getting anything from this experience, maybe you're not getting paid, maybe you're not getting the experience that you wanted, then you're like, well, fuck.
Exactly.
So, okay, a most shocking thing that's happened while being on set.
I feel like there hasn't really been anything shocking. I feel like it's just the normal.
What would people be surprised to learn, or maybe like a misconception?
That, I think I'm stumped for the first time ever.
Really? Oh,
I feel like I've been lucky. Like all my sets have been like smooth sailing. I feel like for me too, I kind of got out of like the professional dance world quick. Like all these experiences that I had just touched on were literally like as I was still in college. But then like as I got into social media, I was like, dance doesn't pay well. They're treated like crap. Social media is great. You know, I don't need to go to rehearsals for like hours to not make money when I can literally make money in the comfort of my home. So I kind of like gave up sets and stuff. The only like work I really do is like my own now. Like I do music, so it's like my own music videos, and I make sure like there's food for the dancers. I made sure I literally paid my dancers more than Beyonce paid her dancers. What? Let me just put that.
Okay, how much does Beyonce pay her dancers?
They literally made like $100
a day.
No, for her music video. Like, there's so much stuff that's coming out. I could be wrong, but the main person that comes to mind, there's only like one artist that really like pays his dancers well, and it's Justin Timberlake, and all their dancers literally like fight to get to dance for Justin because he also provides them healthcare. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not at that level yet. I'm an independent artist. I'm 22 years old. Like, I'm not Justin Timberlake yet. But you mean to tell me, Beyonce, you can't pay your dancers?
Well, that's crazy, especially for something that's as big as a music video.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's wild.
I have a friend that did a music video that has over 400 million views on YouTube, and she got $200. And I paid more than that video. Are you joking me?
That's wild. Okay, is this the video that you're talking about on your TikTok where you guys are all in water?
No, so that's actually a fun story.
Okay, I want to hear about
that. The first music video I'm talking about where I like paid all my dancers, that was in LA, and even though they're my friends, they're professionals, so I'm gonna treat them as such. So I like made sure everything was good. The water music video, Float. Obviously I can't just like pay out 20 people yet.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back home, and I wanted to bring an opportunity back home. So it's all pre-professionals. Like, there was a 14-year-old girl in that video.
Oh,
so they're all little babies, and I still paid them. I was everyone's highest paying job again in that room. It wasn't like, you know, hundreds of dollars we're talking, but I gave them like little goodie bags and gift cards and candy and like little things like that. But that was a really cool experience because that was like, I was giving them their first experience.
Yeah, well, and to bring it back home, but also like I love like in like my work, I've been in everyone's seat pretty much besides like we have a website designer. I mean, I designed a website, but like being able to be like, you've been on that side and been in every single role, that's so helpful because
because I know exactly what's going on. I'm like, man, you guys, I know you guys are tired and hate me right now because this was me a year ago.
And too, I think it's just like then you can be way more empathetic, but also like tailor what you're gonna do. So you know, okay, most of the time they don't get food or they don't get breaks, so they don't get these things. Like that's how you can like amp people back up and be able to like give back to them.
Very true. And I try really hard to do that because I feel like everyone's been in the same seat before, but people just like go on these power strikes and they're like, I don't care, I'm not there no more. But it's like, why are you gonna make everyone else's lives miserable? Like everyone's trying to like get up to eat, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try my best to keep it as easy and like pleasurable for everyone. Like I want people to want to work with me.
And too, I think people just remember how you make them feel at the end of the day. Like it doesn't matter necessarily what happened to the experience or the event or like the casting. It's like, how did that person, like, how did you leave that experience? Did you feel good? Did you feel bad? Did you feel like that was weird? You'll remember that way more than what they said.
Very true. And I just try my best. Like, I want everyone to be like, oh, Mikaila, it was cool to be around.
So when you were planning this music video, what is the song about? I want to hear.
Float?
Yeah.
Okay, so Float is pretty much, like I was saying earlier, water is my favorite place. I love swimming so much. And one day I was sitting at the ocean and I just came up with like a bunch of little phrases and metaphors for like the ocean and love and stuff. And I was like, I'll probably never use this. But then I went to a studio session and the producer's name was Garen, I call him G. This guy's just amazing. He pushed me a lot. And I walked in there and I was like, I want a song that I can like dance to, but like not shake ass. Like I want a dance song to show my true artistry. So we came up with this song and he pushed me to like come up with all the melodies on my own, which usually I struggle with. Like I normally need someone to be like, here, take my hand. But he was like, listen, I'm gonna be making the beat, you come up with some melodies. And he like showed me some little like tricks that helped. And then once I had the melodies, like I pretty much wrote the whole song by myself. And I was like, all right, I want to take love and just make metaphors like using the ocean. So pretty much the song is just about not letting someone else's toxicity make you drown, like let go and just like watch how you'll float.
Like, was it about the ex or was it tailored to
anyone? This was just in general.
Okay.
Like I've been through so many bad situations with men and I feel like I've let men kind of like take control over my emotions a lot, and I feel like the majority of my mental health, like it's been bad because I let other people make me feel that way. And then once I started learning, I'm like, wow, like I don't need this, like if you let people go and you like take people for what they really are instead of like the fake reality you make up in your head, then it's like a lot easier to just like not care.
Oh no, that's amazing. So is the song Float is released?
Yes.
Float is released. Okay, where is it released to? Spotify, Apple?
Everything.
Amazing.
But I have a new song coming out in August. It's called Bad Bitch Energy.
Okay.
And I think that's like the song I'm most excited for in terms of like chances of going viral. I think this is my like viral song. All the other songs I made just because I wanted to get my art out there. Like Float, I was like, I don't see this being like a big viral jam, but like I wanted to get my art out. Now Bad Bitch Energy, I'm like, all right,
you're ready. Can you sing for us a little bit on the chorus of it?
No.
Okay. She's like, absolutely not. Okay, what's this? I'm going to assume I know what this song is about, but like, what was your inspo behind this song?
I was really frustrated because I feel like a lot of people try to like change me. And even like in the professional LA world, they're like, oh, you need to be this way. You need to start dressing different. You need to start wearing makeup more. You need to start being more presentable. You need to do this. And I'm like, no, I got bad bitch energy.
They're like,
I'll play a little snippet.
Yes, play me a little snippet. Who do you feel like has told you that the most? Like that you need to change yourself?
Literally everyone in LA.
Okay, interesting.
Everyone but my family.
That's so
and like my best friends from back home. But even like friends I made in LA, they're like, you know how LA is. They're like, you gonna wear that? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, and that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like it just depends on like what groups you're hanging out with. Because I feel like too, you've got to like, I don't know, a lot of people say that kind of like fake world is LA, but it's really not.
It's literally anywhere. But I will say like, I think what makes it harder, but I'm also really blessed, is back home I have the best friends in the world. Like I literally have matching rings with my best friends.
Cute.
Like I have the best friends ever, and they're like the most caring, humble people, and like they all have their own careers. Like they don't look at what I do as like you know, something to compete with or something that they also want to do. Like, they all have their own individuality, and like they're just so supportive. But being in LA, I think the issue is everyone has similar dreams, and so many people just want to like take from that, and no one really cares about building real relationships. And for me, like, I love relationships, like I love people, so I'm just kind of like, I've learned to savor my energy, and I'm a hermit now, and I became very introverted, and I stay at home a lot. But I'm peaceful. Like, I really don't think I have like one friend for real here.
Well, and too, I think a lot of people don't realize it is like a lot of people that like, I mean, I've made amazing friends here. I'm like, I'm so grateful for that. But there's a lot of people that I have that are just like business acquaintances.
Yeah,
and that's like what I consider them.
I feel like almost everyone I meet out here, I'm like, all right, you're like business. And I've also learned that like, you know, Mikaila's a little ghost. Like, if you're like a horrible person, I used to be really bad at letting people go, but this year's just been a year of cut, cut, snip, snip, doodly doo.
I call it cutting the fat. Like,
oh yeah. I've been really good at just kind of like letting people go and like not keeping people around that are like bad energy.
Okay, wait, yeah, speaking of bad energy, okay, I want to hear the song.
Yeah, so I am not a confident singer yet, so I can't sing live. I don't think I'll ever sing live. I just like to make music. So.
Okay, I love that.
I like the studio because I can sing the same line like 30 times until it sounds good.
Until you're like, hey, I love this.
Okay, I have so many different versions of the song. Let me find it. Okay. I don't want to give too much away. I just want to get to the verse.
Okay.
It comes out in a month.
I love. It just feels like good vibes, like summer by the pool. It's great.
Thank you. And I shot a music video back home for this one too.
Well, okay, what's
with
this
my friend
vibe?
Erin. So the vibe is just fun, goofy vibes. I went in with like no plan because float, like I did float pretty much all on my own. I did the choreography, I held the auditions, I literally made the contracts, I did the styling, the hair, the creative directing. The only thing I really didn't do was hold the camera.
Oh wow, okay.
And that I put in so much thought, like I was preparing for it for months. But this song, like I literally went back 3 weeks later to film the video and I was like, I do not feel like it. Like I just want to have fun. I was the only person in the video, like I didn't need to prepare anything for others. So I told the videographer, I was like, Erin, bro, we're just doing whatever the hell. Okay. So we got into this like selfie museum. It's called the Good Day Selfie Museum in Ferndale, Michigan. Go check it out. It's really, really awesome. The owner's such a sweetheart, so I'll throw that in there. So like I had some like cute outfits and they matched perfectly with like the selfie room stuff. So I did that, and then we found a fair.
Well, and too, that's free sets. Like,
yeah.
right there. That's
she just let me in and use it all, and I was like, all right, you are
amazing.
Angel.
Yeah, because a lot of the museums, like the ice cream museum or whatever, they do such high production, like for the actual sets for people to come in and take pictures. It's honestly a great idea.
A professional set, and I was like, all right, and that was my videographer's idea. I was like, Erin, you are also an angel. Shout out to you. And then we found a fair, and like. I'm mentally 6 years old, so I'm like, oh, let's go shoot up the fair. So I just like got us wristbands, and he snuck his camera because you know it's better to ask for forgiveness, not permission.
It really is, especially when shooting. Like Beverly Hills Hotel, if you guys are ever trying to come to LA, like you gotta sneak it and you gotta get it quick.
That's how it is with the majority of the malls too. Like the amount of malls I've been threatened to be kicked out of is insane. But
really? Okay, for dancing videos?
Yeah, like, and I've noticed, well, the Grove, they threatened to kick me out, which is an outdoor mall, which doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Like I did like a random club in Ohio before I like moved to LA, and they wanted to kick us out. I'm noticing that it's like the majority of the states that aren't used to like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you would think LA, there's probably so many people. I've shot content. They have a ton of brand events at the Grove, so that makes zero sense.
I was so upset. I was like, all right, I'm literally just trying to dance and twirl with my leg in the air. Like, what's the big deal?
Okay, were you in a G-string?
Oh, unfortunately, no.
No, okay,
gotcha.
You're fully clothed.
I was in a pretty outfit.
Oh, okay, you know what? Okay, I was gonna go, maybe if it's G-string, they're like, hey. But if it's like, you in a cute little dress, like get over it.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And I had shorts underneath.
Okay, so
like, what's the deal?
Alright,
Don't make me come
figure it out.
G-string.
I'm actually supposed to work with them, so we'll chat.
Yeah.
Literally, like the Grove collaborators. I'll just be like, hey, so can we or can we not take content here?
Please do, because there's a big mean security guard who's like, you can't do that. And then I was like, all right, I'll do it somewhere else. I like went over. He goes, you're gonna get kicked out if I find you again. I was like, Okay. Because I don't like getting in trouble. That's the one other thing about me. I'm scared of getting in trouble, so I listen.
You're like, all right.
Risky, so now I'm like actually scared to film in public places because I don't want to get in trouble. But hey.
Wow. Yeah, I know. There's a few places that like will not. You just gotta check or just ask for forgiveness.
Oh yeah. Ask for forgiveness.
What do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for being the sexy, beautiful lady that makes women love themselves.
I love it. Amazing.
Well, funny. Throw funny in there.
Okay,
too.
funny. Keep funny too. Okay, pimp yourself out for the TBV babes.
What do you mean by that? Like,
all your handles. Give us all the handles.
Oh, everything is Mikaila Dancer. Mikaila Dancer on everything.
Okay, perfect. And we'll link everything down below. You guys will get TikTok, Instagram, website. That way you go say hello to our amazing guest of this week. It was so much fun. Cheers me.
Thank you so much.
We'll have, you know what? Our matching cups. Cheers. Thank you so much. We will see you next Thursday, TBV babes. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Ta-ta for now.